Good afternoon and welcome back to Shir Soul Sound. Today we're here at the beautiful Hilton Pearl River, and we're going to talk about something really important that many people neglect, and that is miking a drum set for live sound. This may be different than you're used to in the studio, but you'll learn a lot of tips and tricks that'll be really helpful. Check it out. So here we are on stage with the full band set up, and we're talking about miking a drum set for live sound. Now this is different than studio sound where you may have the option to put 13 or 14 microphones or 11 or 10. We want to keep a minimalistic setup so we don't have too many microphones feeding back into the audience, but we also want to capture everything that we need. Now let me take you over to show you what we got. So here we are by the drum set, and you can see we have two overhead microphones, we have a snare microphone here, and then by the lowest drum here, we have a kick drum microphone. Now this is my preferred mic setup. If you have many inputs on your mixer available, you could choose to put microphones on every single drum and you have more isolation in your final mix. But with this setup, I find that we're able to get an amazing sound live, and it also gives us options later on when we're doing a mix down. This takes 4 microphones, like we said, 2 overheads, snare, and kick. As we look at our mixing console, you'll see that this is a 32-channel board. So if you only have an 8-channel board or a 4-channel board, you may need to go to less microphones. Because we have 32 channels, we have options to use larger setups. Coming back to the drum set now, if I were to set this drum set up with only 1 microphone, I would choose just one of these overheads. This is a pencil condenser. This is a Samson CO2. You could also use an AKG or a Neumann condenser microphones. These pencil condensers pick up a nice crisp sound that's really great for drum overheads. And this picks up the general sound of the drum kit, the cymbals, the snare, the kick drum. It gets a good overall sound. Like I said, if I was only using 1 microphone, this is the mic I would choose. If you have the option to extend your drum set and you have the option to use more microphones, the next microphone I would certainly use is a kick drum microphone. Here we have an Audix D6 microphone. This is a beautiful microphone that picks up a lot of the bass frequencies coming out of the kick drum. I place it usually here. If there's a portage or a hole in your kick drum, I'll actually place it halfway in to get an even deeper sound. But this microphone really picks up the bass, and when combined with that overhead microphone, you get a sound that's really balanced. Next, if you were to choose a 3rd microphone to add to your setup, I would go stereo with my overheads. What I mean by stereo, for those of you who don't understand, is left and right. Now, as I'm looking at the drum set, a lot of people will do it from the drummer's perspective, where he's playing drums like this, and this is his left and this is his right. But I prefer to do it from the audience perspective. I'm listening to the band play, so when Orion does his drum roll from the snare and the high toms down to the low toms, it goes from left to right over here, so I label this the right and this the left. This one I pan hard to the left, meaning it comes out of only the left speakers, and this one I pan hard to the right, meaning it comes out of only the right speakers. That way you're able to make this drum set sound huge and wide, and that really provides a nice spread to the room. Combine that with our kick drum, and you get that nice bass with that nice spread sound of the overall drum kit. 4th microphone, if you're able to add a 4th microphone, I choose to add the snare drum microphone. Here I have a Shure SM57. This is the tried and true popular microphone for snare drums. I just have it clipped onto the rim of the snare, and you're able to get a really nice crisp sound of that attack of the drum every time he hits it. A lot of people will do a microphone on the top of the snare drum and also a microphone on the bottom of the snare drum. And if I had more microphones and I wanted to do 5 microphones or 6 or more than that, I may choose to do that. Put a microphone on the bottom to get the snare sound, put a microphone on the top to get the crack of the beater head. Then as you go on, you could mic the toms or whatever it is. But in my setup for live sound, I prefer to keep it relatively simple. You know the phrase, KISS, keep it simple, stupid. It really makes things easier for my setup. Here on the board, I have my channels labeled: kick, snare, overhead, overhead. And that allows me with one hand to quickly make moves here in my drum setup that I can just mix the drums the way I want them. If the overheads are too loud, I'll just take them down. If the kick drum is too quiet, I'll just bring that up. And that's how you do it. Thank you so much for joining us for this episode of Shir Soul Sound, where today we talked about drum miking for live sound. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, feel free to give us a like and leave us a comment below. Let us know what you'd like to learn about next. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for many more videos like this, and we'll see you next time. Take care.